Alright, hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another video. So I am in the process of actually outlining some videos that I want to do in the future to kind of have some things more planned out as far as let me see what I got here, because I actually made notes. Like what I kind of want to do for the channel, and then like some things I actually want to kind of break down. Like one of the things I want to do with the channel is have a section that is specifically dedicated to like the basics or the fundamentals of drawing, so that way you can work on building and creating your own things, whether it be stories, illustrations, etc. Another thing I want to go into is just having like sketchbook sessions, study sessions, pretty much kind of like draw alongs where you can just kind of put in the background or draw along with me, and then draw an actual paint alongs, which is very similar to what I am doing with the lily. And then I'll do like some speed drawings with some commentary over that, and then like possible project follow alongs that I can kind of walk you guys through my process of projects that I'm currently working on. So I'm in the process of kind of detailing some of that stuff. But what we're going to do in this particular video is going to be kind of like a follow along. I am going to be looking at some reference and then kind of studying it, specifically dealing with the rendering of the image. Now, I'm going to unlock my iPod or iPad, and then I'll come back and we'll kind of figure out what image I want to work on. I'll do that live, or not live, but live, so you guys can see what images I have to work with and what we're kind of go from there. Now, I'm going to unlock my iPad real quick. The images that I will be selecting from are going to be from a reference pack that I have that I purchased online, and it's specifically dealing with AI images, so it's nothing that needs to, so I'm trying to find it here. So it's nothing that needs to be not have to worry as far as like copyright or anything like that. And I'm going to, because the images are in color, so I'm going to transfer the images over to Procreate to do them in black and white, and we'll go from there. So I think it's under dark fantasy, and the reference pack is by Rich Grayson with 2 1s at the end. I'll try to see if I can remember to put a link at the bottom. But I think we're going to work with creatures. Is this what I'm looking for? I don't think this is what I'm looking for. I don't think it is. Let's see what we kind of got here. This to kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking at here. I kind of like that image. Let's do this. Let's see if we can split this. We're going to do a new one. But this image here, we're going to put that here because I do like that. I'm trying to figure out what other images I like. I do like the moth. There are some areas that I think I would like to try to reference, so we're going to pull that over here as well. Let's see what else we have. Because I want to practice rendering. So I want to see what images I'm kind of drawn to. I like this one. So let me do this. Let me see if I can do. There we go. But honestly, let's do this. I'm going to click here. I just kind of want to bring the figure over. Let me see what else we have. Let's go back. Let's do. Did do creatures, right? Okay, so let's go back, and I'm gonna do terror. I think that's what it was under last time. Yeah. So just I guess what do they call it? A warning. Some quote unquote scary stuff. So I like this figure, like some of the shading in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to kind of study it. So we're gonna grab this guy because I feel like he has a little bit more contrast than the other guy. Not really feeling that guy. I like this, like the way the lighting is. I also want to kind of study how like these details of like the folds and stuff. So I like this guy in particular. So we're going to take him, we're going to pull him over, and I'm going to grab one more just so I can kind of have some stuff to work with. And I'm going to probably do more of these where I'm just kind of grabbing stuff and studying them. This guy, I like the legs. The way the legs are, like the deforming of the legs is pretty cool. I'm trying to show everything that's in these packs because this was something that was paid for. And I don't want to, it's creepy. I don't want to, that's like, that would be a good study for texture. I'm not really feeling that one. Not really feeling that one either. I think I might be, let's do characters maybe? No, I think that's it for right now. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to select, if I can, I don't know if I have to go here. God dang it. I'm trying to select all. Come on. Okay, so go here. Tiger. There we go. I'm gonna go here, turn these all into black and white. Yeah, okay, and then I'm gonna make these, I can't make these bigger, not as like each of them, so let's do this guy. I'm trying to figure out what I want to study. I kind of want to study this here, this area here. So I'm going to take, this is a HB lead here. I do have extra lead in here. I don't even know what I have in here, honestly. What do I have in here? I've got F lead, 2B, and F lead. I've got another one in here. Let me see what's going on here. So 2 F's and 1 2B. So that's all that I have in here. But working with HB lead here, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I just kind of want to get a feel for the shapes. So it's like this big lump here. This doesn't have to be perfect, but I have the arm here. And I'm not going to do the whole hand. I'm just going to kind of cover up to the wrist here. And then the arm. And there's this one part here where like it's coming out. So there's that. Hopefully, I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. Let me see if I can bring this down some. There we go. So we're gonna slowly work in the shapes. It doesn't have to be perfect because we have an eraser and we can kind of work from there. And what I want to do is really focus on the basic shape. So for the arm, for me, this is more like a cylinder shape, and then I've carved into it. And we'll probably get more into basic shapes and how to manipulate them when I start actually getting more into the actual drawing lessons. I'm gonna here, because I don't need the whole thing. I just want to kind of get right here because this part here. So what I'm gonna do, you can lightly erase if you just have a regular pencil, but I have a kneaded eraser. And I'm just gonna kind of slightly go over or lightly go over the outlined shape that I'll be working within, because it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not trying to do a complete replica, but I do want to kind of work on getting like the tones that I'm working with, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly shade in the whole thing. And in my previous video, I talked about pencil control. So really just lightly laying in a tone within the shape. And this is with my lead pencil, so it's got a little bit more weight to it than a regular pencil would be. So I can work with that. So I'm going to start working on some of the dark areas. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm looking at this here. There's like a circle within the larger circle, right? So I'm going to create another circle within the area that I'm working in. And then I can clearly see there's this clear, defined break with the light, because the light seems to be coming this way, right? So I'm going to have that area here, and then I'm going to kind of darken it in a little bit. And I'm going to try not to work, I'm going to try to do this without smudging. I just want to work with slightly layering my pencil or pressure. And then there's this dark line indicator here that really breaks it up. So that's just going to be darkening here. And then it's not a clean like circle, right? It's got this weird shape. It looks like this. It's like here and then here. That's what it kind of looks like. I'm not sure how well you guys can see this because of the... Let me do this. Let me see if I can add some extra light here for you guys so you can actually see what I'm doing, because it might be hard to kind of see my pencil lines with how light I'm drawing right now. So let's see if we can add some light here. I hope that helps. Let me see. Maybe that's too light. I hope that helps a little bit. But this is, like I said, this is kind of like a sketch along, so it doesn't have to be, your drawing doesn't have to be like mine or it's to be perfect. Like I'm just kind of really trying to study how this light is affecting everything. And there's like a little bit of a line here to kind of differentiate. And there's like a line here. Right, and then there's like a line here. I'm not gonna do too much talking because I'm trying to understand like how the light and stuff is falling myself. So this isn't really like a lesson. Like I said, this is kind of like a study session for myself, and if you guys want to follow along, you are more than welcome to. But I wanted to kind of get my drawing session in for today, and I figure what better way to create more videos for you guys than to actually draw me kind of doing these study sessions as well. And I know I have like my grip for the pencils kind of like if I was writing, but I'm still very conscious of how hard I'm pressing down when I am getting this stuff in here. Like very lightly. I feel like this can be darker here. It's probably honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I know I'm kind of nitpicking here, but yeah, this is also good for you guys to do if you're trying to figure out how you work with creating certain techniques, because how I'm doing it might not work for you, and you might find a different way to create the effects that you want. And it's very cool to experiment and see what works for you guys. See, like this lump here. So this is a lump right here, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it with what I got going on, but it's like a lump within a lump, and that there's a shadow within that inside lump, and I'm trying to differentiate that because there's less light hitting that area. And then there's this huge black area, so I'm gonna go here. This kind of goes here. And then, like I said, I'm not trying to explain too much because I'm not trying to make a complete, like a perfect duplicate of this image, but seeing like how dark those darks get and how it really plays off and creating like this, it looks like a void. Like you can tell like that area, and you can tell how deep that area goes because of just how the lack of light that's there. So you know there's like no light going in there. It's just a deep crevice within the arm area. And it might not seem like it's gonna maybe pan out well because you still have all that other area to work in, but art is, when you're doing stuff like this, you're slowly building it up, you're slowly adding stuff. So they always say that your drawing is, you know, always gonna most likely have that ugly stage where it just looks horrible, and you have to really get through that stage before you feel like it's, you know, looking decent. So now we've got this part here, and there's this like, hi tiger. I'll take in a little bit, okay? But there's this, I'm gonna work here. So there's this like here. I'm gonna lightly draw in the shape that I'm going for here. And then there's like this shadow that clearly defines that this goes here, but it's not as black as this. So here, all right, and then there's like this area here. I shade that in. So this for me is getting less light than this area here. And then I'm going to work on this shape here. And go here. And then try to, shape doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to try to get as close as I can. And there's like, so mind you, I've already laid a flat tone, well, semi-flat tone over this image with the pencil. But even with this flat tone here, it doesn't really stick out too much because you've got all this dark going on. So technically it doesn't look as dark as it originally did, or in your image it might not look as dark as it originally did when you laid out that first tone. And then here, so this goes here, it's a little bit darker. And then just I'm gonna try to lightly draw out the shape of the shadow here. And then like it's so dark here, but there's like some reflective light because this isn't as dark right here as this is, at least from what I'm seeing, because I've got the actual image here. So I'm gonna get it darker here, but not as dark here, if that makes sense. And this has still got a little bit of a turn here, like right here. So I'm going to darken that just a little bit, but this needs to be a little bit darker here. And then maybe, I said, I'm not trying to focus on, not trying to make a complete replica, but I want to kind of get these shapes down because I'm also studying the shapes that kind of make this arm look creepy for me anyway. So I'm kind of doing two studies in one for me, what makes this arm look creepy the way it does, and then two, the shadows. And I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna bring this all the way. It kind of swings over this way, so we're gonna go here. I'm just gonna bring it all the way over. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's really about understanding. And then I'm going to, this is just the shadow part. I don't want to erase it too much. So this is all shadow. And then here, I'm going to bring it down here. And then I'm just going to slowly build that here. Here. And then there's another shape here. Just like layers for this one. And this one. And so I'm going to bring this down here because, I mean, you guys do this if you want. You guys can listen to music or something if that helps, because I've got some of my own stuff playing with my headphones on as I record this. And there's this shape here, the forearm area that like bulks out some, so it goes here. And then there's like some shading in here. And like there's a highlight right here, this area right here, which means that light that's coming in here, this sticks out so much that this part of this piece of flesh or skin is catching the light, which means it sticks out, possibly it sticks out further than this, because if this was sticking out and this is kind of turning in, I'm assuming, because this part is shadow, but this part is like a bump because this part is catching the light. So that highlight I'm going to keep in there, but there's this dark side underneath of it that's not catching the light. And then there's another part here, so this is kind of dark. And that's what I'm gonna get here. I drew the forearm too long, but that's okay. And then this sticks out. And there's still I see. Tiger's over here farting away. And then there's like some gray area here. Just gonna lightly, just enough so you guys can see that it's got some tone to it, some gray tone to it. And then, so that's that part. And then this is here, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I don't have a blending stuff that I can kind of really blend these lines in with. I mean, I could use my finger, but I'm trying not to. I really want to work with just the pencil. And then I feel like this isn't, I feel like this. So I'm going to have to slowly maybe blend that out into this, maybe, to kind of help a little bit more. Add some more color to it, right? I'm going to do another layer of like tone over it just to kind of help. Like that looks a lot better for me. Like this part here, make it darker. And I'm gonna make this dark because this isn't catching the light, but it's not as light as the other part. So I do want to darken this up some. And like here, I'm gonna add some more. As here. I should have made this lighter because I feel like this is a highlight here. So I'm actually going to take my, oh snaps, where is it at? I think I dropped the, oh here it is, but I think I dropped the thing, but, so I'm gonna just tap here. I'm not gonna try to completely erase it, but there's the highlight here, like this area here is highlight. Hi tiger. Hi baby. What's up? And then I want to get this area here. So what we're gonna do is this goes here, right? And then here. And it kind of goes here. Yes, here. And then I want to get this fold area because I think it looks interesting. So there's like this dark area where this fold is in the skin because no light is hitting it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to kind of get the idea across for myself. And then like this goes here. And there's another fold area here. The folds and like really paying attention to where like this goes here. It's not as dark, like there's not a thick line. Kind of narrows out. I kind of actually drew a little bit thicker, but that's fine. It's fine, it's fine. But there's this whole area that's dark here. And then I'm gonna go here. And kind of sticks out here. It's a little bit of a lump here. And then there's this dark line here to kind of indicate that there is a split within this thing here. That's fine. There's also like this dark area here. I think that's more of just the design that's on there, but I'm going to indicate that there's a difference here. And then I'm going to do another, like, ground, I guess would be the right term for this. But instead of going the one way I've been going, I'm going to go the other direction to kind of hopefully even it out some. So it does not just seem like it's just the line in one area. Like you can see that the lines are only going in one area. So I want to kind of change that and hopefully help with the blending just a little bit. Still doing very light pressure, but it actually did kind of help out actually. And then I want to, there's a little bit of this darker area here. And as you can see, I'm kind of going into the dark and then working my way into the light. And darken this. I feel like this isn't dark enough. And if you mess up with these studies, it's okay. Like these are, I mean, I'm recording them, but you know, this is stuff that you don't have to show anyone. You can keep it in your sketchbook. This is a learning exercise. It's not made to be perfect. Don't expect to be perfect when you're doing it. It is okay. Like I feel like I still can see these lines, so I'm gonna just do another slight light ground on this area here. And I'm pressing very lightly. Like it's about, for me anyway, I'm slowly working to learn how to build up the tones. Except for like the real blacks. There's like this fold here, but it's not as heavy, I guess is the term that I can use as these ones, so it's not as dark. Like you can tell here, like they're like a little bit of a lump of flesh. And then there is this part here where it's gonna go up. And it's gonna kind of, I wanna kind of edit here because I think that would work. And make this fold. And then there's this area here where the skin folds like here. So there's a little bit of a dip here in the skin. So I want to get that in here as well. Okay. What the hell? I'm gonna back this up a little bit. And I'm gonna go here. And then I'm gonna fold here and then kind of go here. Like I said, not trying to create a complete replica, but I do want to kind of have an idea of what I'm studying. And then you can see that this area is really you can see that there's like this part here. It actually goes this way. I did it under, but it actually goes this way. And then there's a line here, and then it goes up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to kind of get an idea for this, and I'm just going to slowly go ahead and color this in. And then there's some areas here where like it's darker here in some of these areas here. And go here. There's a little bit area here. And this is actually, I feel like, lighter in certain areas. It's not as dark, so I'm going to just slightly tap this area to lighten it up. I feel like that's a lot better. I'm going to add more ground here to kind of even it out just a little bit. There we go. So that's it for that part. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I might want to study for this particular image. Oh, sorry, as of right now, don't think so. This part I want to study, this pectoral area into the shoulder area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so this is the shoulder area or the chest area here. Roughen the shape here, boom, boom, boom. And then there's the shoulder here. This is this midsection here. I just want to get this part here. So here is where it's kind of going here. And I'm gonna get here. Trying to get the shape down too, but I really just want to focus on the shadows within this area. So I'm gonna go here. Kind of goes here, so I'm gonna go here, and then here I'm just gonna do the line for the bicep. And then around the bicep area is when you have the latissimus dorsi, I think. I forgot. No. Lats? Yeah. The lats, because that's also known as the wings that a lot of guys will work on trying to get when they're in the gym. It goes here. This goes down actually. I'm going to use the eraser while I'm still roughing in these shapes. So that's what I really just want to focus on, this area here. So let's go ahead and add these shadows. I'm going to go here. I'm going to slowly really kind of work on building this up, because this, I feel like I would struggle. I'm going to struggle with trying to make it look right. And this is here. I'm gonna go here. Like I said, not much talking. This is really more of you guys are watching a study session pretty much for myself, and hopefully you can either study along with the same image or you find images that you might want to study on your own. Maybe on the next drawing session, I'll use the blending stub to hopefully get more of an idea of what I'm looking to create and see if that's something I would like to incorporate more into my art, or if this is something that I like, not doing the blending stub. And then there's this really dark area of the area here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what this area here. As you can see, I'm using different line directions to color this stuff in, so don't feel like you always have to go one way. Okay, and then there's like a line here. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to lay in like a ground for this. That's fine, I can do that in a second. So I'm going to lay a ground real quick. And I'm going to go just the area that I'm really working on. So I'm just going to kind of go back and forth real quick. And I'm going to go the other direction too. Actually, I'm going to lengthen my lid so that way it's a little bit easier for me to control the lightness of me pressing down. Okay, there we go. And then here. Now there's not much talking, guys, and I'm sorry, but like I said, I'm hoping this is something that you guys are able to get your own sketchbooks, do your own studies, or study along with me with the same image that I have. So you can understand, one, you can work more on your pencil control, right? Because that's something we've been working on. Or two, you can learn more about how you might want to actually do certain things in your own art. Let's see here. And then there's this line here. Here goes up. And then it goes here. I want to get this line here that differentiates the tricep from the bicep, and also the deltoid. I'm sorry, the deltoid, that line difference, the deltoid from the pectoral and the bicep. There's like this, see that line? There's this like area here where it's shaded a little bit more than this area, and that's that turn. It's turning in, right? Because this is coming out here, and then this is turning in. I can't really see the form, or I can't really understand the form that's going on there, but that's fine. So, but this is the way this is. It do it this way. It goes like, how can I do this? So I want to draw this out so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So there's this shape here, right? And like that, but it goes like this. And then I'm gonna do like the line here and then here, and then the light is shining here. This is gonna be shade. This is gonna be colored and darker. And then this would probably be like your mid-tone here, because you're starting to get that transition from the dark to the light, depending, right? And there will probably be bounce light, but right now I'm just gonna do this all dark here, so that way hopefully that makes sense to you guys, right? Kind of like how we did the circle, right? If you're doing the circle, you know, this area is going to be dark here, but as you get more towards this area here, and that's going to be dark too. But once you start getting out of like that, I think it's called the terminator here, you get like, it gets lighter because you're starting to get more into the light area. We'll maybe talk more about the ins and outs of like the light, how it works, terminators, different names, and all the rest of that stuff. So, but so I got that here, and there's this clear definition of this being darker, this part here Okay. Here. And then there's also a line, it's like a shape. So the fact that I'm not drawing it as a black shape lets you know that it's not, it's away from the light, but it's not as turned away from the light as like these crevices and stuff are. And that this also help indicate that these crevices, for me anyway, are deep in there because there's just no light hitting it whatsoever. Like I said, this is what I'm getting from it. You might get something else from it. But like I said, this is my study session, so this is what I'm kind of learning from it. And then this color area here. So it's been about an hour. I think I'm gonna be done. Don't think there's anything. I mean, I can try to get and go here, try to get some more definition in this chest here, so it looks a lot better. And definite, that has a better feel for like the chest area here, and it goes here. So just doing this here. And this area is away from the light. So there we go. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to kind of clarify here? There's like this area here because this comes away, this faces away from the light, so there's this definition here. And we'll talk, and that's more of standing, not only what I'm looking at, but also like the anatomy, because this figure is somewhat humanoid. It's a humanoid creature, so it does have features that follow the human anatomy. And then down here is probably going to be a lot darker because it faces away from the light. So this is a lot darker here. I'm gonna I'll just color this around because it's the back area. And I'm going to do a quick chest example tutorial so you guys kind of see what I'm doing with this chest area. That's why I said don't be afraid to experiment, do your studies, make notes to yourself in your sketchbook session, because you can always reference it later. Now, I've done enough human anatomy study that I have an idea. I'm not going to say I'm perfect when it comes to the chest area, the pectorals, but with the pectoral muscles, right, I'm going to do the head area here, but I'm going to do technically, should have did a, you know what, that's fine, I'll do this. I'll do the rib cage area here. You guys probably can't really see it too much, but I'm drawing the rib cage very lightly, just kind of have an idea of what I'm doing here. And I'm gonna have that, that's kind of the midsection here, and I'm just gonna, but and the collarbones, but okay, so And then like we would have the shoulders. I'm gonna do this just kind of a quick. All right, but anyway, idea. The chest is gonna go here, and then trying to remember how it goes here. You have all these muscles that are connecting and going over, but I'm gonna go here, and then here, and then here. Now this is actually folds over, but anyway, say this is like looks almost like a fish, pretty much, for the chest. But the way this chest, because of how there's like multiple muscles that go through the chest and stuff like that, it layers on top of each other. So you'll have one here, and then you'll have another, or it'll be laying over top of it. So it stacks on top of each other, right? But so you've got this curve. I'm gonna do it this way, sideways. You've got this curve to the chest muscle, and this bottom part, this would be the bottom, this would be the top. If the light is coming down, well, since this curves, right, you're gonna have this area here that's gonna be blocked from the light, so it's going to be shaded in. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is like if you have a person whose like chest muscles aren't, you know, like a bodybuilder's, because if it's a bodybuilder's, then it's got a more of a lump to it, right? Because they have a bigger chest, so it goes like it looks like it balloons out, right? So it might look more like this if it was like a bodybuilder, and let's say we'll have like the nip here, versus if it was like a skinny person, right? It might, you know, it's not going to balloon out as much, so you might have a smaller area like here where it's very thin with how it like overlaps. Hopefully that makes sense. So like here, and then here, and then this would be shaded in, and then have like the biceps, and then you have like the triceps and all the rest of those muscles here, and the lats and all the rest of that. We're not doing all that, but that's it. That's my study session for tonight. Hopefully this was helpful, or you guys found it helpful. Just kind of see how I am going to be doing more studies, and seeing what I want to do. Like, because so clearly, like I said, all this is AI art. You can clearly see it's AI art. If I wanted to, I can even go back later and just do like the studying of like how it did like the tree bark. And if I wanted to, I mean, I can just pull real reference, but if you want it simplified, you can use something like that, right? Because even like how it's got this faded area, I can practice doing that. There's a lot of stuff that I can work on when it comes to just this particular image, like, you know, how they did the stones, and this particular tree, like how they have the bark there, working on atmospheric perspective. Even if I just want to take this one area here, maybe, you know, the face and how it's got this effect on it, just kind of looking to modify maybe a skull. I've already did the chest right here, but you know, this is a very humanoid figure. And let's see, like this moth person, the contrast on this is a lot, right? Because this is very bright around this area here, but then it gets super dark within the underneath of the wing. So that contrast, and you know how it pops, because normally if I were to do something, I feel like for me, if I were to do something like this where I'm having this kind of really bright and then this kind of dark and then this super dark, for me I would feel like it wouldn't look right. But being able to view other images and see how they do it, and I think that looks cool. And even this one, if I wanted to study like the shape of the face, and then maybe like the shape, the deforming of like the arms and like the ribs, and how like the chest looks a lot smaller here, but the deltoid is huge, and then like the rib cage, everything looks sunken in here. If I wanted to study that right, and then say like this guy here, you know, the shape, I could study that. The Once again, if I was just studying like the shading and rendering, how dark those darks really go. Oh, sorry, how dark those darks really go. How light the lights go. Trying to think. And you know, once again with this guy, if I wanted to, I mean, I can even tell you how like they have it looks like, you know, the material looks more like a shell, and how it differentiates from like this flesh looking texture, and really seeing how they were able to pull that off, you know, with that just going in black and white, like the face shape, textures. So there's a lot you can get from one reference if you really think about what you're trying to study and what you're trying to do. There's definitely a lot of things you can get from one reference, because like I said, with this one in particular, I could look at the textures, the atmospheric perspective, textures of the stones, the trees, how they have certain textures with like the rib cage, the face shape, things like that. So do not be afraid to experiment, play around, and see what you guys like. That's it for right now. I do hope you guys enjoyed this study session. I guess I'll call that the study session. I'll make a note here. I can't think. I'm sorry. It is late. My brain is pretty much kind of fried right now. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the study session with me. Sorry. And hopefully you've done your own study session with whatever you guys wanted to, or you followed along with this video. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm trying to think what else. Let me know also what you guys would like to see, because I do want to. I want to do something with this channel. Like I want to kind of provide like my drawing sessions and study sessions and stuff like that. But I also want to give you guys information that is going to be useful and help you guys create your own stuff, and do like paint alongs and draw alongs where you create an image alongside with me. No matter if we have to do that over multiple sessions, but you guys would be able to finish with something or have something at the very end of it all. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Take care.